Welcome to 365 Christian Men, where every day we aim to inspire and encourage with real-life stories about men. July 19th, Dwight D. Eisenhower. Dwight D. Eisenhower graduated from West Point, commanded the Allied forces in North Africa in 1942 and on D-Day in 1944. And he was Supreme Commander of the troops invading France. After the war, he became president of Columbia University, and before long, he was president of the United States. A conviction is a belief that moves you to action. Be a man of action. Prayers at presidential inaugurations aren't unusual, but it's usually not the new president doing the praying. In addition to 3 invited clergymen, Dwight D. Eisenhower prayed. He had had faith from a young age and prayed regularly, and he'd recently devoted himself to his wife's denomination. So now, when he wanted faith to play a major part in his presidency, as he did with many things, Eisenhower took command. Of the original inaugural speech, several more drafts and redrafts were crafted. Some he disliked because they sounded too much like sermons. He gathered his staff and told them, "You want every person there to carry home with him a conviction that he can do something." Dwight Eisenhower, or Ike as they would call him, he didn't typically mince words. And in his inaugural address, he wouldn't be any different. He disliked words that drew attention to themselves. The average person needed to grasp the message and act upon it. On the morning of the inauguration, he changed the opening of his speech. For the oath, Eisenhower placed his hand on the same Bible George Washington had used, and he opened to this verse from the Old Testament. "If my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray, and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land." 2 Chronicles 7:14. Ike turned to the crowd of people who waited in the chilly weather. President Eisenhower asked them to bow their heads while he uttered a private prayer. He asked God to make his team's dedication to service full and complete, and to grant them discernment between right and wrong. Later in the speech, he returned his focus to the country's need for faith as the abiding creed of our fathers. Within days, he ordered that every cabinet meeting begin with a moment of silent prayer, where each person could respond according to his own faith. A week later, President Eisenhower was baptized. He meant what he said at his inauguration. While he never demanded that anyone pray or share his faith, he sent a strong message that prayer played a major role in his life, and that his faith would guide him in how he led the nation. Your influence matters. A conviction is a belief that moves you to action. So, be a man of action. Thank you for listening to today's story. Every day of the year, our hope is to inspire you with real-life stories of faithful men who have gone before us. Hebrews 12:1 says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." Join us tomorrow for another story at 365christianmen.com.